a little more time with Shreveport mayoral candidate Mr. Jim Taliaferro. What you got down there, kid?
You're on the second floor. You're mayor, first day in the office.
Right.
Mayor Taliaferro sits down at the desk.
Ooh.
What are the first things you're going to do? First 3 things you do.
Just be 3?
Let's just do 3.
All right, just be 3. Let's see. Third-party audit of every department. Review all city taxes, fees, and cut that red tape. I want to make sure businesses get into business, and I'd like to review all the qualifications of key personnel in the mayor's office, and obviously start the application process for chief of police.
So the police chief, you're going to ask him to step down or move him to another position? We
need new leadership under civil service. Obviously, I'm not going to go in there, and you can't fire anybody, but I know Alan understands. And I do like him a lot, but it is all about leading that department, and I believe we need to take our department in a different direction. People deserve that.
When Leo Savage was here last hour, and we were talking about the number of forums you guys are doing, et cetera, and he said the topic that comes up again and again and again, it's crime. He said no matter the neighborhood, no matter the demographic, no matter the economic strata, he said crime is it for most Shreveporters right now. Are you getting that same sort of feedback from people you talk to?
Yes. The perception of crime is that it's on the rise, and I know that it's what are you going to do about crime? Safety and security has always been paramount, right up there with food, water, shelter. It is the main discussion thread of just about every forum that we go to. I think there was one forum where they said we're not going to talk about crime, we're going to talk about other issues. And that was kind of like, wow, that's pretty weird since that's number 1 on most people's minds. But yes, crime seems to be the number 1 issue in most of our voter base. And that's the reason I'm talking about. I'm the crime candidate. I've got over 30 years of law enforcement, and I know I say I know the ins and outs of the police department, their functions and dysfunction, because I ran for chief of police 3 times under 2 different mayors. Right. So, I do have a plan. The good thing about me, I said one of the good things about it is that I can actually sit down with the chief of police and compare strategies because I have my own. And they're not too far-fetched with someone, obviously, that I would be selecting as chief of police.
Folks are telling us every day, Jim, that you and Mr. Savage are just going to split the conservative vote, which might keep you both out of the runoff. What's a Republican to do?
What's a Republican to do? What's a person to do?
Right.
If they believe that they can do a job, and forget about the mayors, but if they can do the job well, and they have heart and soul and passion, and they believe that their 16-year-old deserves to have a legacy like they have, I'm running my race. And sure, we're going to have Monday morning quarterback people out there, do that Monday morning quarterbacking thing. Oh, it's about the party. What do you think about? I'm looking at the city. I'm not going to, I love the party because I love what the party stands for, or else I wouldn't be part of it. But the point is that I'm running my race. I'm the one that stepped up to the plate. I'm the one that says I'm the tip of the spear. I'm the one that's going to bat for your kids and your grandkids for the future of Shreveport. That's my goal. I stay in my lane, and I'm passionate about what we're doing. So they're going to say that we're going to split the vote and so forth and so on, and then we'll just get same old, same old.
You finish 3rd and 4th, or 3rd and 5th.
The point is get out there and make your voice heard by pulling the lever. And the reason you should vote for me is because what has changed in the last 12 or the 2 decades? Are you happy? It's like Dr. Phil says. How's that been working for you?
What's the difference between you and Mr. Savage then? If those are the 2 choices for some people who say I'm only voting Republican, what's the number 1 difference between the 2 of you?
I think experience is mine. If you're talking about crime as the number 1 issue, I'm the crime guy. I have more experience than any other candidate on running in this race. I believe that if crime is your number 1 issue, then I'm your guy. I'm about leadership. I'm not about just management. I'm a John Maxwell fan, and the leadership is key in moving any organization forward. So I say it's leadership. I just don't preach it. I live it. Most of my career in law enforcement and in the military sector has been all about leadership, motivating others to do something great.
On a text line, we got this. Would you pledge to stop rolling our millages forward and backward and leave them at the rate we voted them for?
Yeah, the reason you vote for something is because that's the common voice of the public or the people. So, I'll be the first to tell you that I'm I'm not all there is to know about. I don't know all there is to know about millages back and forth, back and forth. But if I vote on something, that's credibility. That's accountability. That's saying you're listening to the will of the people. And I think you need to stick it there. Excuse me.
Another budget question.
Oh, sure.
Shreveport's budget, the 2018 budget. I'm sure you have read it, looked at it, reviewed it.
I have.
The next budget comes out this weekend. Our reserve fund is critically low.
Right.
Do you have a figure in mind of what we should have in reserves, and how do you approach that?
Yeah, I think we should go back to, this is kind of biblical, but I like the tithing principle. 10% has always worked. And the basic thing is if we can stockpile 10%, and again, it's back to being accountable and responsible. All the departments don't tell me I can't find 10% of waste, fraud, and abuse. So the point is that, 2%, that's just like crazy. 10%, I can live with. I mean, that generates, what, $40-50 million bucks. So the point is that, we can do it. You got to have somebody willing to say, we're going to do this. We're not going to raise your taxes. We're going to do that. We're going to look for what we have not done well, and we're going to do it much, much better.
There's a lot of folks who say, well, you can look at the numbers that Shreveport, since probably around 1990, early 90s, has lost in excess of 15,000 or more manufacturing jobs. That we are the example of NAFTA and the WTO and all those moves. When Ross Perot said, that sucking sound you hear, Shreveport is the example of so many jobs that up and left. Are those kind of jobs gone forever? You said you were the law and order candidate, the crime, but we also need kind of a, if not a business candidate, an economy candidate, right?
Right. Not necessarily an economy candidate. I'm just saying again, surrounding yourself with people a lot smarter than I am. I am, back to the chief encouragement officer, it's my responsibility as the mayor to select those people who do have vision and can move the city forward. Are the big box, I call them the big box stores, the big box businesses, are they gone forever? I'll never say anything is gone forever because obviously we have not done, and I think the mayor has mentioned this, we have not marketed ourselves well. But in order for us to market ourselves, I kind of look at like the real estate business, since I'm in that, is that if you want to sell your house and it really doesn't it doesn't have any curb appeal, I'm going to tell you, if you want me to sell you want to sell your house, you want to get top dollar for your house, you're going to have to do some curb appeal stuff. I don't care if it's painting, I don't care if it's trimming the bushes, I don't care if it's mowing the grass, I don't care what it is. The point is you got to have somebody say, as Erin said, give me that wow factor for my house. Where's our wow factor for Shreveport? Of course, I hear the litter, I hear, the streets, I hear the drainage, I hear all that as well. That's common knowledge. I guess the point is that I will never say that big box businesses are gone. The concern is that we have missed numerous opportunities with big box businesses because I believe we're not willing to build a relationship.
One more thing, Jim, and this my head might explode. So just do you know the number for 911?
Take a breath.
We vote on things in this city, and there's little follow up on some of them. I'll take the 1998 election. I believe we voted for a park at Cross Bayou. It's when we voted down a zoo. We voted for a park at Cross Bayou. How does Mayor Taliaferro handle following up and seeing that things are done as we voted for them?
Yeah, that's back to basic accountability. Don't tell me city administration forgets this stuff.
Yeah.
And I know what you're saying is, I guess it's kind of focuses on down there where the Hustler Club is, in that specific area. And I know that's been a brownfield forever.
Sure.
And I know we ran into this with the convention center, correct? But the point is that, there are checks and balances. There are people down there that know what projects are in the pipeline that need to be followed up, and to go 20 plus years and going, oh yeah, where'd that money go?
Right.
Where'd we spend it? Is just fundamentally irresponsible. And it doesn't sit well with any administration that comes in and tries to do that. You hear about pensions with employees. Oh, well, it was a bad investment, but they don't tell you what the bad investment was. They just say the money's gone. Well, that's just unacceptable. Why? Anyway, I can get off on a tangent, but it's just unacceptable, and it's just irresponsible.
And it changes under you as mayor?
It has to, because I am your employee. I'm your employee. If I don't do a good job, you have every right to kick me out. No worries. And I have every right to say, yeah, you're right. I didn't hold up my end of the bargain. But the point is that I love it when you have, this venue for people to say, hey, what about me? What about me? What about me? What about this? What about this? The point is that we are not engaged with the people that we serve. And I think we haven't been engaged. Shreveport was built on relationships, a handshake, a promise to go to work, and to make things better. And I think we've got out of the relationship business.